You may not know who Todd Schlopy is, but you've certainly seen his work. Since the late 80s, Schlopy has been a first assistant cameraman and operator in Hollywood. He has over 50 feature films to his credit, including blockbusters like The Revenant, Seabiscuit, and Transformers. Todd is a huge Bills fan, so we invited him to Buffalo to shoot a game, to see how one of the best in the business does it.
Definitely a little nervous. NFL films, the footage, the camera work is so legendary. I hope I can fit in and not embarrass myself. They've given me an amazing long lens. That's beautiful. I should be able to ISO wide receivers, quarterbacks, line play, get in and cover those things, see what we come up with. I'm a little bit out of my element here because I usually do feature film work where things are a lot more controlled. Take 2, take 3, take 36. If you miss something out here, they're not going to tee it up for you again. They snap that ball and you don't know what's going to happen.
How the exposure changed 3 stops from the snap of the ball to the end of the run. I don't have the option of telling those guys to stop and wait for the sun to come out. We got to just shoot. It adds a little more fun.
There's a steep learning curve when filming a football game.
I went with the wrong guy.
And while things got off to a shaky start,
Dude, I tried to follow the ball last time. I don't know how you guys do it.
once Todd adjusted to the equipment and the flow of the game, his talent began to emerge.
That was a cool shot, actually. That's cool.
Buffalo brings 4. Heineke has to escape out of the pocket to the right. At the 15, now puts his head down, dives toward the pylon. Touchdown!
Got lucky on the touchdown. Yeah. Let's get lucky some more.
I've been accused of what they call schloping out on a movie, which is just, shutting out everything and going into that zone or tunnel where you're not letting things affect you.
Finally in the groove, Schlopy picked off shots that would have made the late Steve Sable proud.
That was one of the greatest filming experiences of my life, and I want to do another one. I mean, what can I say?
Todd's success filming football wasn't a surprise, since he's no stranger to the NFL. In fact, years ago, he had his own Hollywood moment on the field. Schlopy grew up in Orchard Park, and as a senior was all Western New York as a kicker, punter, and wide receiver.
Todd Schlopy will be kicking off.
He was a walk-on at the University of Michigan, where he was one of the rare barefoot kickers in football.
Jimmy Harbaugh, he held for me, and he was great. Jim was a character. We shared an apartment. He'd put on Quiet Riot or something at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it'd just be screaming, in my face, you gotta get up and go run, and, it was just,
In 1985, Schlopy earned a tryout with his hometown Bills and barely lost the starting job to Scott Norwood. 2 years later, he got another shot with Buffalo, only to lose to Norwood again.
You just throw your hands up and you're like, what's it gonna take? We'd all heard rumors that there was gonna be maybe some labor unrest in the league and that there could potentially be a strike. So they offered me $7,000 and said, look, do you wanna, just sign this as a what if? And I was like, yeah, I was mad. It's never gonna happen, so I'll take the money.
The strike did happen, and Schlopy was pressed into service. In his first 2 pro games, Todd only kicked 1 extra point. If he was going to make his mark, he had to do it quickly.
We all knew the strike was ending, and a number of the Giants had crossed, including Lawrence Taylor. He dominated.
And he is sacked, and it is Lawrence Taylor.
One of the worst games in NFL history. Nobody could do anything right, even just getting a clean snap and hold.
On a long field goal, you've got to get it down quick so that kicker can get into it. Gee whiz.
So we are still scoreless at Rich Stadium in Buffalo.
The last few minutes of the game, we get the ball down the field where we can try a field goal.
Todd Schlopy to tie it up. It is good.
Right down the middle, we're all tied up, going into overtime. We get down the field, get 19 seconds left. We're in there for a 27-yarder, no problem. But Lawrence Taylor was desperately trying to get my attention from across the field. Hey, kicker this, hey, kicker that, you know, saying some things about my mom. I wasn't gonna miss that one.
Todd Schlopy on the field, trying to win a football game, barefoot and all. Yes! Todd Schlopy has given the Buffalo Bills the win 6-3 in overtime.
At that moment, I felt like I really became an NFL kicker, that I had climbed the mountain, you know, and overcome these odds. And it's ironic that that was the last chance that I ever got to do it. But what a way to go out. It may not have been in front of 80,000 people, but it still fulfilled a dream. And for Buffalo, it put a W in the column. That one means something to me. You know, those are things you never forget.
Even though he hasn't played in the NFL in years, Todd still loves the game. He even brings a ball to the set when he films movies and has kicked mock field goals all over the world.
Sign him up!
The 60-year-old doesn't have a bucket list location to kick at, but we thought it would be fun to see if he could recreate his game-winning 27-yard field goal.
First thing I gotta do is ignore Lawrence Taylor.
Todd Schlopy on the field, trying to win a football game, barefoot and all. Yes!
Drano.
Todd Schlopy has given the Buffalo Bills the win.
Once he found his stroke,
Nice.
Todd decided to test himself by moving further and further back.
Game over.
His range ended up being nearly 50 yards.
Too old for this stuff. Coming into Buffalo and re-experiencing these things. I just really feel blessed, and I can't thank you guys enough. It's just been amazing. The life marble starts down and it hits pegs and goes different directions. I'm happy with most of the turns. I really don't have much regret. I've been able to have incredible experiences as a football player.
Todd Schlopy has given the Buffalo Bills the win.
And as a filmmaker, I've ended up exactly where I want to be.